Hey everybody, this is Adam with Paracore, and if your agency or your business is doing any sort of call tracking, you know that it can be really difficult if you get a high volume of calls. In today's video, I'm going to show you how we at Paracore actually make this process a lot simpler using the call tracking system CallRail that tracks our calls for almost all of our clients. And you'll see on the screen here, this is the CallRail interface. It's actually branded for Paracore because we have the branding turned on, so typically this is blue and it says CallRail up here at the top. And if I click this settings icon, up here in the upper right, you get all these settings, and then I've clicked on call transcription and keyword spotting. Now, for a couple different features with CallRail, you actually need to enable call transcription in order to use them if they're going to be looking at auto tagging or basically looking for certain keywords. So this setting I turned on, I hit this radio button here, and I want to transcribe all calls. You can actually change this so that it only transcribes certain calls from certain numbers and things like that. And then I basically said, I want CallRail to transcribe calls and then look for certain keywords. And in this case, we're running lead generation for a tour in Hawaii. And I want CallRail to look for the keywords card, credit card, and card number. So if any speaker says any of the following keywords, card, credit card, and card number, I want this to say tag as booking auto tagged. And I did booking auto tagged because when it tags the call, I want to know that it was an auto tag and not something that one of my team members actually tagged themselves. So when we see booking auto tagged, we actually look at that and we verify it, and then we know that an actual booking has taken place for that phone call. All right, so in order to automate some of the keyword spotting and keyword tracking, you actually need to turn on call transcription. This is for CallRail, okay? And then I go over to my activity dashboard, and so here, I guess if you click this activity icon in the upper left, you will then hit this activity dashboard. This shows a bunch of calls, and you can get to calls details in one of two different ways. So you can either click this guy right here, which is the timeline, or you can hit the recording, and then you can hit view details. And so when you do that, you actually then view a more detailed view of a call. And so this is a really interesting interface here when it comes to analyzing a phone call. So this call is from Natalie and Carl. I actually removed the phone number. This is in the caller timeline for call logs. And now here you see the agent spoke for 46% of the time and the customer for 54%. So you can see the sound waves here. The darker one's the agent and the lighter ones are the customer. And then they have little dots above and below. And so anytime I hover over one of these dots, basically, CallRail is doing is pulling out call highlights where they're pulling out important keywords that they think are relevant. So the highlights are phone number, confirmation, address, collect, interested, booking. These are the automated keywords that CallRail is pulling out, and each one is identified with a dot in the call, which is really cool. And then when I click phone number, it actually goes to that specific area and it starts playing the call. If I hit confirmation, it shows them up here 1 and 1. These are two areas where it says confirmation. And then the transcription is down here in the bottom right. Now, in the first screen that I showed you, it had keyword spotting. And so I had set up keyword spotting. And if you remember, they were card, credit card, and some other things. And here is where the keywords that were spotted, the agent said card and the customer said card. And now you can see that it says tags, booking, auto tagged. And this means that the call was automatically tagged with this booking auto tag tag. And then someone on my team actually listened to the call and did a booking confirm tag, which means they listened to it just to confirm there was a booking. And for us, this value means that 4 people booked the tour. So this is a dollar value. We could put dollar values in, but sometimes we don't get the dollar values, so we actually just do the quantity of people. However, this new highlights feature in the call history was just released by CallRail very recently, and it's really cool because you can see all the different pieces of a call and very quickly analyze it. And so if you're listening to, let's say, more than 10, 20, 30 calls, probably more than like 15 calls a week, you might want to start employing the auto tagging feature in the call transcription, which I showed you in the first tab, so that you can analyze the calls much faster, and you can basically narrow down and look at which calls are most important. So that maybe you don't have to review all of them. And you can actually do the negative of this as well. So if someone says, no thank you, or someone says not interested, or someone says call back, then there's a good chance they probably didn't book in this case because people are booking tours. And so then you can look at those and you can filter those out a little bit faster. or if someone's calling and saying, hey, I need directions, then you can tag that as directions. That's probably a repeat caller, which you can filter out anyway. But there are a lot of different ways that you can use the keyword transcription, and then also use keyword spotting, and then apply a tag based on that keyword spotting. So that's how we use CallRail, at least as far as analyzing calls very quickly. And this is a new feature that they have, which is the entire reason I created this video. But as I was creating it, I thought, well, you know, I'm going to go through the entire transcription to auto tagging to reviewing the timeline process, because, you know, for us, we didn't use it for a very long time, probably a year. We weren't really using these keyword spotting and tagging features. One other thing to note, and this it does say it up here, it is 2 cents per minute to do the call transcriptions. So if you have very long calls or a lot of conversation on the calls, it's going to add some cost, and it could potentially get a little bit costly. But even if you're doing, let's say you're doing 2,000 minutes a month at 2 cents, that's an additional $40 per month. That's not an incredible amount of money, but it is still real money. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about CallRail or how the call transcription and keyword spotting works, please ask a question, leave a comment below. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and follow our channel for more updates just like this. Thanks a lot.